Absolute value. In each of the following equations, find all integers x satisfying the given equation. A reads the absolute value of x minus 16 equals 16. B reads the absolute value of x plus 7 equals 14. C, the absolute value of x equals the absolute value of negative x. And then remember that absolute value is distance away from 0. So when you're working with these absolute value bars, it means distance away from 0. So I'll take, for example, this first one. It's saying that the distance away from 0 that x minus 16 is 16. So x minus 16 is 16 units away from 0. What would the x have to be? Well, the absolute value x minus 16, that number is 16 units away from 0. So the number that this represents, x minus 16, is either here or here. Given that, what would the x have to be? So you write this, you copy it, x minus 16 equals 16, and then x minus 16 equals negative 16. Since the distance that this expression is away from 0 is 16. So this expression can be at the 16 mark or at the negative 16 mark on the number line. So you solve for the x, get that x by itself, and it turns out to be that x would have to be 32, or x can be 0. That means if you put this 32 here and simplify, you're going to get a 16. And if you put this x here and simplify, you're going to get a 16 again. This problem reminds us that before we can solve the absolute value portion, we need to isolate it. So you have to get the part that has the absolute value all by itself. So the 7 has to be moved over. So we subtract the 7 from either side. It cancels this 7. Now it's on this side. Now that we have this, this reads the absolute value of x equals 7. In other words, what number, what x, is 7 units away from 0? Well, x equals 7 is 7 units away from 0, and x equals negative 7 is 7 units away from 0. For C, we have this, the absolute value of x equals the absolute value of negative x. And all integers satisfy this equation. Why? Well, let's try an example. If you let x equal 8, you put the 8 here and here. So the absolute value of 8 is 8. The absolute value of negative 8, it's still 8. 8 equals 8. So x equals 8 satisfies this equation. It's a solution. You could do that with any number you like, and you'll always get an equal sign. So all integers satisfy this equation.